Yeah, Steve, I know we're muted.
The sun is shining, so why binge in here when you can do it out there? With this clever little app called Audible, you can listen to the stories you love while doing the things you love outside. Everyone's doing it. She's binging, they're binging, and so is he. So put on your headphones, turn on Audible, and binge better.
Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 179. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this. We didn't pick a word.
Luxurious.
we did luxurious.
We did luxurious last week.
Ass-chasey Wednesday evening. Earth date, whatever the fuck date it is, January 9th, 2019.
Consummate professional, as always.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello, Remington.
Steve fangirls and screams, "Woo, woo, woo!" He says. How are you doing?
I am sick,
Yes.
but I'm doing okay otherwise.
So you have a stomach flu?
I
You
think
think
so.
a stomach flu or just a stomach bug?
Just a stomach bug.
So, like, did you eat anything that would cause you to be like, "Bleh," like puking and peeing out of your ass?
I had like 2 Hardee's chicken tenders yesterday.
Okay, that's it.
No, I mean I ate other stuff too,
Oh, okay.
but that's what I kind of pinpointed it as maybe.
Oh, okay.
But I still feel sick today.
Wait, just two?
Yeah.
Just two, like of the strippy guys?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not very much.
But I still like I could taste it for the rest of the day.
Oh well, maybe that is the problem then.
But I don't know, I'm still not feeling great.
Yeah.
And like I said on the way over here, I had a Cajun fish sandwich, which probably wasn't the best choice.
He had a fried, spicy fish meal.
Yes.
You, sir, are a glutton for punishment.
I know. I don't make good choices in life. I don't think anybody would deny that.
Hang on a second. What was it that I was doing? Bringing the chat back up. That's right. So we can see it a little bit better because Brandon is blind and I'm not far from it. Hang on. Unified remote. Basic input. Mousy guy. Chitty chat. There we go. There we go. Steve, how is the volume? Is the volume okay on everything? I dickered with stuff. I'm always dickering
Why are you always dickering with
because
stuff?
I gotta poke things. I gotta poke them and make them better, or worse.
Stuff works, and then
sometimes
you
worse.
dicker with it.
Yeah. Oh, stop it, you. Thanks, Steve. Wait, Tony, which one is gorgeous?
It's you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty cute.
Well, yeah, I'm cute, but
I wouldn't
you're gorgeous.
kick you out of bed for eating crackers.
I do eat a lot of crackers in bed. That's kind of my thing.
If you want to be with me, you got to put up with eating crackers in bed.
You got to be ready for the Ritz.
Yeah. Oh, Brandon, you're really putting on the Ritz, aren't you? Woohoo! Steve says you're both pretty, but I'm a whore.
Fair enough.
Glasses don't do it for me. Take notes, Slav. Oh, so aside from being sick-ish today, what have you been up to this past week?
Nothing really. I wish I had some exciting story to tell about things I've been doing.
Yeah.
But I have none.
None?
No.
Zero whatsoever?
I've been playing Pokemon.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's been my excitement.
So, well, which Pokemon, though?
Pokemon Crystal.
Yeah. On the
3DS.
Okay.
This is from the Virtual Console. It's one of the earlier Pokemon games.
Ah, I see.
Gen 2.
Okay.
I had a game that I started, but I kind of got myself into a corner where all my Pokemon sucked. So I just deleted the game and started over.
That's
so I've
fair.
been playing from the beginning again.
I kind of want to do that with Subnautica. Because I had Damn it. That's a flashlight. That's not the sound. There we go.
I'm flashing lighting as hard as I can. It's not turning it off.
It's not turning off the sound. I just see a light going on and off constantly. Did it share all the shit out to Twitter? Why does IFTTT suck? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Should I turn the Arby's logo away from the camera so it doesn't look like they're sponsors?
No. Arby's is a sponsor. You didn't know that?
No, I wasn't aware. I'll turn it right towards the camera.
January 7th. Why don't you do your thing? Oh, you dick. Why? Stop everything. Why?
I'm glad we were prepared to start this episode, Remington.
Listen, Brandon, I fucking got going as quickly as I humanly could. Man, I did it in record time.
You did do it in record time. It was like 10 minutes.
In record time. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but I did it in record time. I have an interesting story for you. Once upon a time, I have a belly button. The end. I wish I had a belly button. I am here, ready for the content. Then you came to the wrong place.
Yeah. I don't know. I have content.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to talk about Subnautica. So when I purchased Subnautica, I had bought it and I had the old rig. And
Mhm.
I could play it on the old rig at like super low settings. But if I tried to stream it, the stream was like, no, sir. Nope. Can't handle that bullshit.
Yeah, it was just too much.
You're asking a lot of this old processor. So I put a kibosh on it and I put it down and I haven't gone back to it. I have a submarine, I have all sorts of things. But I'm only about a quarter of the way through the story itself.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking very seriously about just starting over and wiping the slate clean and then going through the storyline on it.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Especially with a new computer, it's going to be so different.
Yeah, I mean, I've booted it up on the new computer and it's lovely, but I love how our chat is just belly button talk. Belly button talk. Manga Kid has an outie belly button, and Fat Tony has an innie belly button for obvious reasons.
Oh.
Because he's fat.
So fat people have innies?
Yeah, you never see a fat person with an outie.
I don't know. In anime, there's always fat people with outie belly buttons.
I know, that's weird, isn't it? They shouldn't have. It doesn't make sense.
You get like, I've noticed the more I gained weight over
Yeah.
the years,
Yeah.
the deeper the crevice of my belly button became to the point where I could get like one knuckle in there.
Yeah. Just wait until you can get 2 fingers and a sausage in there. Then you got a snack for later. You just got to blow the fuzz off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your secret tummy pocket.
No. This is how we start off every episode, Jabek.
With what?
He said, "Man, you are really hurting for content today, aren't you? This is what this is what you've devolved to. We haven't even started on the stories yet, man.
Yeah.
We'll get into them.
But also, this is what we've devolved to.
If in order to de-evolve to it, we would have had to have evolved into something better first.
Yeah, that's true. We can't even get past 384 likes on Facebook. That's where we're stuck at.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? We'll go up to 385 and then we'll drop back down to 384 again.
Yeah, it's weird. So everybody go over to Facebook right now and drop a like on the page if you haven't already. Because we need Facebook validation constantly.
Specifically me, I need lots of validation all the time.
Yes. Most definitely Brandon needs all of the validation forever. And making sure that all of those get pushed out to the proper places. Okay, we're good. We good.
Facebook sucks.
I mean, it does. I don't disagree with you. That's because anime is dumb. Slev doesn't have a belly button. He was made in a laboratory. That's just true. I deleted that after college. And, I mean, we have quite a few on Twitter. But there's definitely oh, Fat Tony, thank you so much for the biddies. There's definitely more, I don't want to say more interaction. There's more discussion on Facebook than there is on Twitter.
Yeah.
Really. So, I mean, there's a lot of content that flows through both of them.
I don't even know if Twitter's where it's at anymore. I don't know what people are using. Instagram?
Instagram is a weird one because people will use it. Yeah, that's true. 100% politics and bullshit on Facebook. Absolutely. That's definitely one of the reasons why I don't like it anymore either. But
Where
I
do we
do.
reach the kids?
Kick? Isn't that a thing? K-I-K?
Kick?
Yeah. Doesn't all the kids do all the kids have wow.
Doesn't all the kids
Doesn't
use kick?
ain't not all the kids not doing the kicks now?
You did it.
Yeah. Snapchat. We just have to be friends with everybody and Snapchat when we're doing things.
And send them snaps of us.
Naked.
No.
No.
You're not supposed to
Not
do
to
that
kids.
on Snapchat.
Oh.
Not to kids.
Or anyone ever.
Yeah. Especially not to kids. Though.
That's what my mom said. In Korea and the Philippines, it's popular. What, Kick or Snapchat?
Or nudes.
Or nudes? Nudes on Kick is popular in Korea and the Philippines. That's what I'm getting out of this. Ah, Kick. Snapchat was originally a dating app, apparently. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But then the whole zeitgeist said we don't want penis pictures. We don't want dong pics.
Yeah, but I mean, you get dong pics pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah, if you're a lady.
Yeah.
I don't get dong pics. Not nearly as often as I want to.
Do you want some?
I mean, I won't say no.
Just in your scientist robe, like, that's certainly a dong, all right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this a 7. Oh, God. Steve, don't you dare send me dong pics. Then all of the girls will be all over me wanting to know what your peen looks like. Oh, shit.
So what have you been up to, Remington?
Ooh, that's a good question. What have I been doing? It's been tough to keep track. I have really just been kind of sailing along day by day, which is pretty standard for me, but usually I can bring something a little. I just went to pick up my books for school.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that happened. And last night was a really rough night for me. I had a rough time waking up this morning and getting going, so that's why the podcast started a little later than I wanted it to. No, Mango, we have not had the chance to go watch Aquaman or Spider-Man. We were hoping that maybe we could go like Saturday or something, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So
I don't even think we mentioned it again after the podcast.
no, probably not. You'll find that we do that a lot. What have I not been doing, Tony? You mean the thing that I sent you, but then realized that I didn't actually send you the right way? So, I mean, it was done, technically, just not in the fashion that you needed it. Drink my drink at you, fool. Vape my vape at you, fool. Before that, let's see here. I played a little bit of Overwatch last night with Pandemonium.
Okay.
Which was nice because he's the one who I had done a giveaway. I had a copy of Overwatch, and I did a giveaway during my 10-hour stream, and he won it. And I said, we'll have to get together and play. So we did that last night. Went through a few matches. It was fun. Got to play with somebody new and actually team up with people to play Overwatch.
Yeah, I've heard Overwatch is a lot better when you're actually teaming up with people that you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he and I both still suck. And we were playing with 2 people who played it frequently and are at least decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Tony. See the post of Deadpool and Wolverine being in the MCU confirmed that came out today? No, I didn't actually see that. I don't think I'd gotten that far in my thing. Brandon might have.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so and then anytime before that, really, I don't know. I've been doing this and that and bits and bobs and here and there's. I can't even keep track of what I'm doing. I've got so many plates spinning, but they're all like tiny little plates. So
Yeah.
like nothing is super important, but they're all just like balancing on my fingers and just spinning.
Well, they're all tiny plates, but they're eventually going to cohese into a big plate.
I hope so. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to have one big plate because too many tiny plates are hard to spin.
Yeah, and what are you going to put on those? A chicken nugget? A French fry? That's
Maybe-
ridiculous.
I don't know. I envisioned them much smaller than that, like a pea,
like pea-sized plates?
like a pea-sized plate, a single serving pea. But I don't know. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff between me and a few people for Lurk Squad stuff. I've been making some improvements on my stream. I have them turned off right now. Hey Pena, I have them turned off right now, but there's a total of 51 sound files now that have commands that you can play while I'm
Jesus
streaming.
Christ.
just a hodgepodge of different sounds.
Like what? Do you have an example of one of the weird ones?
I have one from Chris Farley. I have a couple of Chris Farley ones, and one of them is "Stop playing with your dinghy," just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're all over the place. And I made a. It's not on this one because I haven't changed the. There isn't one for penis, Tony. Sorry. Maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days I'll put a penis up.
No.
It'll just be a gif of a penis. Yeah. But it's a 3D spinning thing of all of my communities.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun to make. I actually made that on stream the other day.
What'd you make it for?
It's just a graphic. And it's each logo is on an invisible box, a 3D box, if you would. And the logo spins boop, boop, like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it just rotates and then stops for a second for the listeners at home. But I'll get it up. I forgot to put it up on. I have two different scenes, one for when I'm streaming and one for when I'm podcasting. And I haven't moved that over yet. Thank you for the host, Pena. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah.
Just banging stuff out for the communities and for the stream and podcast stuff as well. I got the podcast put out Saturday.
I think it was Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to get it out Friday, but
I was gonna check, but it's not that important.
yeah, it's whatever. It comes out when it comes out.
I didn't see any news about Wolverine and Deadpool confirmed in the MCU, unless it's just breaking news.
Oh, really? Well, he said that it was. Let's see if I can find one real quick on this. That's what I like about this Inno Reader RSS feeder, is that I can just type in Deadpool and then pull up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything recent about it.
I'm seeing 2 weeks ago with Avengers Endgame getting a weird trailer with Deadpool. But I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing anything there. Okay, sounds good. He's going to find the post. He said he may have been trolled.
Okay.
So let's get into some stories, Brandon.
All right. You want me to go first?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you like homosexuals, Remington?
I mean, I'm cool with them.
Well, this is a story for you then.
Okay. What a fucking dumb lead in. Do you like homosexuals? Nope, can't stand them.
Well, this is a story for you.
What am I supposed to say to that? Jesus, thank God I'm not a homophobe.
There's a place in Berlin that's opening a show called Sex, Lives, and Video Games. It's the first exhibition of LGBTQ gaming history.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, yeah.
Dr. Adrian Shaw, who co-curated the exhibition with Jan Schwarnenberg from the Schwulz Museum, and German gaming journalist Sarah Rudolph are the ones hosting it.
Oh, that's cool.
Apparently, it's separated into multicolored rainbow rooms, and each room is something different as far as history goes.
Huh. That's neat.
Yeah. There's a game, and then it includes that really caught my eye called Caper in the Castro.
Okay.
Which is one of, if not the first, explicitly queer game.
Oh, Claymore, I didn't even see that I had a challenge. All right, what was it now? Say the last part again.
It includes a game called Caper in the Castro, one of, if not the first, explicitly queer game.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Programmed by C.M. Ralph in 1989, Caper in the Castro is likely the first LGBTQ game. It was distributed via BBS and is charityware, with the designer asking players to donate to the AIDS charity of their choice.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's been around since 1989?
Yeah.
Wow. That's fascinating. Huh.
And here's a synopsis of the game. You're the world-famous lesbian private detective Tracker McDyke.
Okay.
Yeah. You're searching.
Wait. It was built in 89. It was built in 89. I got to keep that in mind. When it was not almost a slant insult to call somebody a dyke, I guess.
Well, I think you can still, if you're, I don't know enough to speak on this.
Probably can't even say it anymore.
No. Yeah, I'll just skim past that one. You're searching for a kidnapped drag queen, Tessie LaFemme. What you didn't count on was stumbling onto an even larger and more treacherous crime.
Fascinating.
And the rooms are color-coded for different sections, as I mentioned, including indie games and the Blue Room, which shows discrimination and splashback from people online, including the Gamergate movement, via equal representation.
I see. Wizard in the Wardrobe has arrived. Yay! The Wizard in the Wardrobe has arrived.
Yeah, she said she might try to jump in.
Well, she did. She did, and she made it. Hi. You forgot about the other 7,000 letters after LGBT.
LGBTQIA plus.
Yes.
I think is where it's at now,
I think
right?
you are correct. Yeah. I don't keep on top of it. Like, eventually they're just going to have to switch to an acronym that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
one that's
like
more
build a
all-encompassing.
word. Well, just like build a word, like NASA, you know. Just NASA, but for the queer community.
Yeah.
Or just call it Queer NASA. I'm cool with that too.
Queer NASA, and each one stands for something?
Yeah, or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, once you've established that that's the organization name that you're going with, it doesn't really matter what the letters are.
I feel like NASA might have a problem with it.
They might.
Because somebody's just chomping on their style.
We could do Nessa then.
Queer NASA?
Yeah. Well, we could even drop the queer part though.
And just call it NASA.
Because that's not as inclusive.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a queer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like we're skirting this line, but we're not.
Yeah.
Because it's okay within the community when you're referring to the community to say the queer community.
Yeah.
But it also feels like since I was 10, I was told not to call people queer.
Yeah.
So it's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there was this much history to the LGBT community
Oh, absolutely.
with video games.
Oh, with video games
In reference to
specifically.
video games, yeah. One of the other examples they give is Birdo from Super Mario Brothers. Are you familiar with Birdo?
Uh-huh.
Who is a boy who wants to be a girl. Described in like the 1980s.
Because Birdo eggs.
Yeah,
Oh.
Birdo is a boy.
Yeah.
But he wears a hair ribbon and wants to be a girl. So Birdo is technically a transsexual, I guess.
Or just could be if he wants to be a girl.
Yeah.
Then yeah. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I can't, like I said, I don't keep track of it. That's not our job. That's Rain's job.
So what do you think of this story? You have any opinions one way or the other?
It's a cool story. It's nice to have a community event representing video games for the LGBT community. Yeah.
There was an indie game I played called
or another one. I think there are a few other ones out there actually.
It was called like Gay Lovers at the End of Time or Gay Lovers in the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. You play it in browser. I wish I could remember the exact name because I'd send people to play it because it's a 10-second game. It literally takes 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you are in a bunker with your gay lover. And there's a countdown, 10 seconds. And it's like just descriptions. Like they're looking you in the eyes and they say this to you. What do you want to do? And then it gives you like hug them, kiss them, tell them it's going to be okay. But you don't have time to read it. So you're just like, hug them, kiss them. What did they say? Boo. And then it's just like game over. The world has ended.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was really cool though. I love those kind of indie games.
Yeah, where it's just this real fast, like, psh.
Well, just stuff I like a game that's different. I mean, you can play the same kind of game over and over again. You can play the same survival and I like Subnautica, but the same sort of Minecraft style survive, build.
Yeah.
7 Days to Die sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare when you get a new game that has completely new mechanics. I wouldn't say rare, but it's rarer.
Yeah.
And I always enjoy those.
Yeah, it's rare to find a game that isn't already playing off of somebody else's mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if the novelty wears off very quickly, which a lot of times it does, I still enjoy the time I spend with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Tony. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. I love the picture on this one. Why is there so many?
You do have a lot of stories pulled up there.
Yeah, but I don't have as many over here. So where are those from? Why are they not showing up over here?
Yes, Arby's is my sponsor today. It's actually our sponsor every day. You missed it, but we got Arby's sponsorship.
Unless there are any lawyers in here, at which point we did not.
Free curly fries. What? That story looks awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I mentioned before that I didn't. I started looking up stories last night, and it was kind of late, and I real brief aside. I've been smoking my pipe again, my wizard's pipe,
Okay.
and I have some filters that are supposed to go into the stem of a pipe. But they're a little thick for the stem on this particular pipe. Okay.
Okay.
So I found that I can actually cut them and trim them down because they're just basically wrapped up
Mhm.
pieces of paper. And I can pull those outer layers off and I can slide the last bit into the pipe to help kind of filter it.
Okay.
It just basically keeps pieces of tobacco from coming up the stem.
Yeah.
Okay. Con about this is that pipe tobacco is kind of moist. So moisture will collect in the bottom of the bowl. Okay.
Okay.
And it wicks up into that filter. Well, I found that if I push that filter up too far, it will get stuck. So I got a filter stuck in there. And I have spent the past few days trying to figure out a way to clean it out from that stem. So for the viewers here, that is the stem for the pipe. And it's very long. It's like 14 inches long.
Mhm.
And it's got a curve in it. So you can't just run something straight through it. You have to get something that has a little bit of bend to it, a little bit of play.
Right.
I had a piece of just a piece of metal wire. It's like a real thick gauge wire. I tried that at first. I couldn't get it slid through. I guess this isn't exactly a quick aside. Sorry. I had some cable in the garage, like just cable that you would tie out a dog or something like that.
Yeah.
I had some of that. I had to cut it, and then I had to unwind it to get a piece small enough but sturdy enough to run through the pipe in order to clean it out. So that's what I did last night while I was looking for articles. While I was looking for articles, there was just next to nothing that caught my eye, that jumped out at me.
Yeah.
And I spent a ton of time cleaning this thing out because it was not an easy task. Yeah. James Patrick, football frenzy. What are you talking about? So anyway, I did, at least while I was trying to get all of the other things done, find some stories. The first one that I have, so you'll have to bear with me because I haven't had a chance to really read through them, but these are the titles that kind of caught my eye.
So you were too busy screwing around with a pipe to get any stories.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
So
see
you
any.
found
I didn't
literally
see
anything else to do instead of finding a story.
I didn't see
for the
any
fucking
stories.
podcast.
Shut up for a second. Let me defend myself, jerk. I didn't see any stories while I was cleaning that out that jumped out at me that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, because
It
you
wasn't-
were too busy.
No,
looking.
it
and
wasn't
cleaning the
until
pipe.
today that I found stories that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Jeez. Making me the bad guy here. You do all the things. Do all the things and then find stories, Brandon.
I have stories.
You
That's
have
all I'm
stories.
saying.
That's all you have to do.
Listen, that was a little uncalled for.
DC Comics plans to lock up Jesus in a new Second Coming series. All right, cool. Thanks. So DC Comics and their rebrand Vertigo Comics imprint plans to lock up Jesus in their new series Second Coming by writer Mark Russell and artist Richard Pace. Mark Russell described his plans for the upcoming series in an interview with Bleeding Cool, where he notes God has locked up Jesus. An all-powerful superhero named Sunman has to share a 2-bedroom apartment with Jesus Christ. The conceit is that God was so upset with Jesus' performance the first time he came to Earth, since he was arrested so soon and crucified shortly after, that he has kept him locked up since then.
So God is being a dickhead.
I guess.
He's being Old Testament asshole God.
Yeah, I guess. Russell goes on to add that God wants Jesus to be more like Sunman. Quote, God then sees this superhero on Earth a few thousand years later and says, that's what I wanted for you. He sends Jesus down to learn from this superhero, and they end up learning from each other. They learn the limitations of each other's approach to the world and its problems. However, Russell does indicate that Jesus might be the one doing more of the teaching. Sunman has to deal with things like his grandmother succumbing to dementia, or that he can't adopt because he's technically not a human being and his wife wants a baby. There are the sorts of problems that superpowers are utterly helpless against. Jesus brings this very different view on how power can be used.
So is it a Christian comic?
I don't think so. I think it's just an exploration of the trials and tribulations of being a superhero, but through the eyes of Jesus Christ?
Jesus as your roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I love the idea.
Uh-huh.
I think I do. I love the picture especially.
Yeah. So let me switch over to the picture real quick here.
What the picture is for the listeners is Sunman and Jesus standing shoulder to shoulder. Sunman has a man in a headlock while Jesus is arguably shoving a loaf of bread into a man's mouth. And they're looking at each other like, oh, is that how it's done?
All right, so there we go for the viewers.
I mean, there's a little bit of forcefulness to that Jesus bread shove, right? Or am I reading too much into it?
I don't know. I mean, he looks confused.
Yeah, more than anything else.
It's a super questionable panel. Like, there are a lot of questions to be answered from this panel with no context other than Sunman standing next to Jesus.
I especially like this picture out of context.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what the story was, to just wonder.
I mean, would you assume by that drawing that that's Jesus? Or would you just say that it
100%.
looks like a guy with dark hair and...
No, I would assume by that drawing that's Jesus.
Do you have a problem with Jesus still being white in this?
He looks more Arabic.
Do you think so?
I would say so, yeah.
He's definitely got kind of a more olive-y skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that could just be a good tan. You know?
He's living in an apartment, though, probably in a city. Where's he getting a tan?
That's true. Sunman, isn't that just a new version of the fourth Superman movie's Nuclear Man? I don't know. Could be. We are woefully out of touch with comics. So.
Have you seen the Superman movies? Like the original ones? You've never seen any of the original Superman
I have.
movies?
I've seen the first one and the second one, but I can't tell you the last one or the last time that I'd seen them. Because the first one was just you're talking about the ones from the 80s?
Yeah, with Keanu Reeves.
No. What is it? Oh my God. Why am I brain farting on his name? The actor who played Superman. Really? You don't know?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I've actually never seen the movies.
So wait a minute. Wait just a doggone minute. You come at me? What? You haven't seen the movies? You've never seen them? I have.
Yeah, but you're more a Superman fan.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. But, man, that's going to drive me nuts. Christopher Reeves. Thank you. Yes.
For some reason, I was thinking George Reeves, but George Reeves was like the very first Superman, wasn't he?
I don't know.
The, like, 1940s when Superman was kind of fat?
I don't know.
Okay.
100% don't know on that one. Yeah. But I've already forgotten his name.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, Christopher Reeves. The first one with Christopher Reeves and the second one with Christopher Reeves, and I think that one was the one that had Zod and the other guys in it. I think.
Okay.
I think that was the second movie. That might have been the first one as well. I might have only seen the first one then. Either way, it's probably been 20 years since I've seen anything more than a snippet from them. So,
Are they worth watching from what you remember?
I would say yes. If nothing else, just to look at the cinema of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the movies themselves were good, but it was definitely shot in a different way than what we are used to now.
Yeah.
So there's that.
They were 80s or 70s? They were 80s, right?
I think it was early 80s. It might have been 79 for the first movie,
Okay.
but I think it was 82. I could be wrong. I feel like I wasn't born for the first one. I don't know. We can ask Google.
Do you think there will be any splashback from this Jesus living with Sunman thing?
I guess it depends on how they actually treat the subject matter. You know, if Jesus isn't doing anything that's inherently un-Jesus-like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, the portrayal of God is just being like punishing his child by, and then sending him to someone else for an example lesson is
Yeah.
a little weird for a choice for God, but
Well, and Jesus didn't get arrested till he was 33. That's a pretty good run.
yeah, for
Especially
sure.
around that time when people probably lived to like 50.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, in the Discord, Nidalost put Sunman for our viewing pleasure. I mean, there are a lot of differences between that and the picture listed.
I think that's Nuclear Man.
Yeah. Sunman, and he was drawing a parallel between Sunman and Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
There is a Japanese manga about Jesus and Buddha. Japanese manga about Jesus and Buddha has an anime OVA as well. Let's find that link that we got some new follows too.
This is weird streaming and doing the podcast at the same time.
Why?
I don't know, because we got like chat going on and then we're trying to look up stuff and it's boring for the viewers, but then the listeners aren't going to hear this. Like the listeners are going to hear none of this right now.
Right, yeah, as a rule now. But and I don't know. We run such a fast and loose show that sometimes we have to look up stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
It's like because I do want to talk about that Deadpool thing if that link is legitimate, so I just got to find it. So if you want to go ahead with your second story, I think we covered the first bit just fine.
Let me get back to my stories. Let me get back to my stories.
Let me get back to. I wasn't following you, Manga Kid. I don't think I knew that you had a Twitter actually. Brave Wild Sarah.
Okay, so have you ever had any interest of going to Disney World, Remington, or Disneyland?
I've always wanted to at least experience it. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. My daughter has been multiple times with her mom's side of the family, and she's really enjoyed it. So I don't have that. I don't have that hanging over my head of like, man, my daughter's never gone to Disney World. I'm really a failure. I need to take her.
Yeah.
Which in its own right is fucked up, isn't it? That Disney has got to that point where they can make you say, like, if you haven't taken your kids to Disney World yet, what are you doing as a parent? Like, there's just that stigma now that every kid gets to go to Disney World at some point.
At least I don't have to take my pets.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's all I have to say.
But I'd love to see the Harry Potter world, which is, I think, in Universal Studios, not Disney. I could be wrong, but
Yes.
or maybe it spans both parks.
No. They're Universal and Disney. They're headbutts. They don't.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They don't really work together. It's two completely different companies, of course. So.
And then there's also Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is opening this summer, which is the Star Wars theme park.
Yeah.
So Disneyland and Disney World hiked prices up 25% for their tickets.
25%. That's what were the old price? Do you have that right there in front of you?
I have
the old prices
the
and the new
newest,
one?
the cheapest price for the ticket now is $104.
Okay, so
for a 1-day pass, and that's like slowest time of the year where you get the ticket.
So they raised it by 25% from just 1-day pass. Is that what you're trying to
They
tell me?
raised up to 25%.
Up to 25%. So probably on the 1-day pass, it probably was. That's probably the most expensive one if one person got a 1-day pass.
I think the 1-day pass was originally like $92 because I did see a breakdown of all of the passes and how much they raised prices, but it looked really boring. So I didn't write it down or take a screenshot of it.
That's fair. But you knew I was going to ask. I want numbers, Brandon.
Yeah.
I need the saucy numbers.
You need the sauce.
I need them in my face holes.
Ew.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm going to take it there.
Just want to eat them like SpaghettiOs.
Noms. Well, he said he sent me the link on Twitter. Or did he say Twitch? Dance for them. Dance for them, Brandon. Less dancing and more gyrating, I guess. And even that.
That's something I've always wished I could do. I wish I could be a dancer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wish I could dance. Like, dance well.
I mean, all you have to do is take classes. You just got to get your body to the point where it moves.
I feel like I don't have much rhythm, which is weird because I'm a bass player and I play bass pretty well, so I can keep rhythm.
Yeah. You just got to figure out how to translate that to the rest of your body. That's not it, but if you keep practicing. Manga Kid, I'm not seeing that link. I don't know if I'm dumb, which is possible. In fact, it's likely. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'll work for sure. Okay. So, going back to the Disney thing. So, what do you think about this price hike? Do you think it's just the nature of, things continuing to get more expensive? Or do you think it's a necessity, considering the fact that, when you go to those theme parks, I mean, drinks are like, you get 20 ounces of drink for $5. And
Yeah.
you're paying out the nose for, a meal that's like the size of your fist.
Yeah, everything is so fucking expensive there.
Yeah.
Apparently Disney raises their prices every year, but this is one of the highest price hikes they've had in a while.
Oh, wow.
But they're also showing record numbers.
Ah, I see.
So, from what I read, analysts are saying that this isn't going to affect Disney sales at all.
Yeah. I don't imagine. I mean, even at that kind of a price hike, people are still gonna go. I don't think it'll be prohibitive, and for anybody that it is prohibitive for, um, they'll make up for by just having the sales in general
Yeah.
or having the price hike.
Well, and you have the Star Wars Edge of the Galaxy coming out too, which looks amazing.
Yeah.
I was reading a description of one of the things that they have there, and you get to ride in the Millennium Falcon, and different people are on different stations. So you're going through this ride, and I assume it's just like TV surrounding you, and maybe it's on rockers so it shakes and whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But you have like people on guns and people on engines, and you interact with the ride. You're sitting in the engine section, so you got to keep hitting these buttons and like, okay, you got to press this button now. It sounds awesome. It sounds super interactive and amazing.
Yeah. I haven't done one of those, like, super interactive games in a long while where you have to go somewhere and do something like that. Because occasionally you can find something like that in an arcade. Of course, arcades are nearly a thing of the past, at least in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go to a moderately bigger city than what we have to find a good arcade that has that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But those were always I always enjoyed those the most, where it just felt like you were in a cockpit doing something like that.
Did you ever go on any of those trips through school where you would do the moon missions?
The moon missions?
Yeah, I went through Trek, so I don't
Yeah.
know if you went through regular school as
No,
well
I was a
too.
dumb kid. I
Okay,
didn't go
yeah,
through
I went through the special.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but
Not to
I was
brag, but I'm
gifted.
super and gifted, that's what they call
Gifted,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was like a museum, but they had a room that was like a fake lunar area,
Uh-huh.
and then in the middle of that was a lunar lander. And you got to go inside in like teams of 5 or 6, and each of you had your own thing to do.
Mhm.
So it was like built to the specifications of a lunar lander. So I remember I was kind of bummed because I didn't get to be on engines or anything.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be the one to put on the spacesuit and walk outside because
Yeah.
you got put on the spacesuit, you walked outside, you collected materials. I was the one who got to put my hands through those gloves
Yeah.
and work in like a clean room and manipulate and clean off rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super awesome.
That
It
that
sticks with me. There was like so many buttons everywhere to flip, and
Yeah.
it was
That
cool.
does sound fun, and every one of those buttons does something. Like, how close do you remember how close of a mock-up it was to a lunar lander?
I'm not 100% sure. I
Gotcha.
remember it was like pill shaped. So it wasn't exactly the lunar lander. You didn't have to like
Oh,
climb up
okay.
steps. There was a
Yeah.
door to get into it.
Yeah.
So I guess when I say it was built to specifications, I might have pulled that out of my ass. It,
Right.
it felt like it was built to specifications as a kid,
Yeah.
but it was also built, I think, more for children.
Yeah.
So they probably shrunk it down.
I had a bad habit after 3rd grade of not doing homework and stuff.
Mhm.
So despite being incredibly brilliant,
Yeah.
uh,
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
in
No,
spite
no, no. Yeah. Uh-huh.
in spite of being incredibly brilliant, um, my grades reflected the fact that I didn't like to do homework and I was lazy.
Yeah.
So,
I got straight A's up until 8th grade, I think, and then
yeah.
I started to just not care about school.
Yeah. I blame Mrs. Law.
Mrs. Law,
Yep.
you hear that, you bitch?
You horrible monster.
What did Mrs. Law do? What was her deal?
At the time, she was a very grumpy woman.
Mhm.
She mellowed years gone by, apparently, where she was a favorite teacher of a few people who had came after me.
Oh, okay.
But when I was going there, I don't know what was going on in her life, but she just, for some reason, did not like the cut of my jib. And
Probably your brilliance she hated.
maybe. I was constantly correcting her on
Yeah.
everything.
Excuse me, Mrs. Law.
Actually, I do believe that you have that incorrect. I did a lot of that, so. So this is the story that the Manga Kid in chat was talking about. This comes from
Lad Bible?
Lad Bible, which I've never heard of, But that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of these I haven't heard of. It's an exciting time for superhero fans, and it looks like things are only going to get better. After much speculation, it seems that mutants from the X-Men movies, currently owned by Fox, will be entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe, home to the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more. On the red carpet at the Golden Globes, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige said he was excited to have access to all of the characters following the upcoming merger of Fox and Disney. In an interview with MTV News, he said, "The truth is, I'm excited for all of them. I'm excited, and it's not just the marquee names, you know. There are hundreds of names on those documents, on those agreements. And the fact that Marvel is as close as we may ever get to now having access to all of the characters is something I've been dreaming about for my almost 20 years at Marvel, and it's very exciting." The deal means the likes of Deadpool, Wolverine, Professor X, Magneto, the X-Men, and even the Fantastic Four will most likely be making their way to the MCU. Rumors have been circulating that Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox and its film and television arms will finalize this month, meaning it may not be too long until we see mutants roaming around with the likes of the Avengers. Which, that being said, Wolverine, in some instances, is part of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Everybody's been part of the Avengers at some
yeah,
point
because they
now.
have a cycling crew.
Yeah.
Well, okay, much of how this will look depends on the outcome of the much anticipated Avengers Endgame, something Feige managed to sneakily allude to at the Globes. While on the red carpet, he revealed the title of the hotly anticipated film had its title long before the trailer dropped in December. Speaking to MTV on the red carpet, Feige was asked when the title came about, and he said it was in place before we started developing the movie. The eagle-eyed of you may have noticed Doctor Strange saying Endgame in the previous film Infinity War, which it now appears was put into the movie to plant seeds in the audience's imagination ahead of the sequel.
Man, I've got so many movies I'm going to have to see in the next coming months.
Yeah.
Got Captain Marvel, which I'd really like to see, although realistically I probably won't see it in theaters.
Oh, really? I would like to see that one in theaters. It looks good.
Avengers, definitely I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. That one we have to see in theaters.
That one we've got to see early too, because it's going to be hard to avoid spoilers for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to prioritize. We need to make ourselves a calendar of things.
Yeah.
The way we can say, okay, we have these things scheduled out. That way we can actually talk about them and do the due diligence of nerds everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be a better podcast if we actually saw these movies.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about like, yeah, this movie's coming out. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
We'll never see it.
It's going to be good stuff. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mega Kid, for the link. That is pretty exciting. I mean, we knew that there was the possibility of this happening anyway, because Fox's purchase of, or Disney's purchase of Fox. The characters, of course, we've already seen Sony give up certain rights for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So MCU can use him. I guess the question is, excuse me, what other superheroes are owned by different companies that we would potentially want to see in the MCU?
I want to see just the idea of mutants introduced into the MCU.
Yeah. You don't really care like what kind of mutants they come up with. Like say Sony owns a few names that are mutants.
Yeah.
So they have the right to use the term mutant because they have these mutants that are already established as mutants in the Marvel universe.
Fox, I think, has the right to mutants.
Yeah.
I think so. Because Fox was the one who put out the X-Men movies, right?
Well, yeah, and I think you're right on that, but
when they got the rights to X-Men, they got the rights to exclusively use the term mutant.
okay.
That's why you don't hear a mutant used. Like Scarlet Witch, I'm like 90% sure that she's actually a mutant,
Oh, yeah.
but they can't say she's a mutant. She's just a magician
I got
in
you.
the Avengers movies.
Which kind of works out because her power is magic-y.
Yeah, Quicksilver was a mutant.
Yes.
He was Magneto's son.
Yes. Is Scarlet Witch his daughter? Or did they just pal around together?
They were brother and sister, I believe.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm so bad with all of the
Yeah, they refer to them as enhancers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the Fantastic Four would be cool to see. I never saw the last Fantastic Four movie, the one that was kind of critically panned.
Yeah, for sure.
I own it.
The one that didn't take off until the last 20 minutes of the movie, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own it. I have it. I downloaded it. I've just never wanted to spend the time to watch a shitty movie for 2 hours, you know?
Right, yeah.
Again, that would be something that would be fun for you and I to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silver Surfer. Manga Kid mentioned Silver Surfer. That would be cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd get to have that dynamic between him and Colossus. Or not Colossus,
Galactus?
Galactus, yeah.
Yeah.
I brain farted for a second. Colossus is a mutant, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, who's the silver one in Deadpool? Is that Colossus?
Yeah, that's Colossus.
Yeah, okay. My brain, it's still not firing on all cylinders. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Doctor Doom movie Manga Kid mentions too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know who I would like to see explored, and this isn't Marvel. Oh, crap, what is his name?
Bill Clinton.
Darkseid.
Oh, Darkseid.
Yeah.
Well, I was way off.
I really want to see Darkseid explored in a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about his earlier story, but I remember reading, because he was in Kingdom Come, right? But he was on his own planet, and he had basically retired from being a bad guy.
Okay.
I feel like, and I think if I remember right, it's been a while since I've read Kingdom Come, but I think Superman goes to visit him to ask for advice or something like that, or somebody goes to ask him for advice, and I don't know. I just kind of like to see the whole dynamic of that.
Darkseid was hinted in the Justice League movie.
Oh, was he?
Mm-hmm. Or in Batman v Superman, Darkseid was hinted.
Ah, okay. I haven't seen any of those yet. So.
Yeah. I need to let you borrow those. Not that you really have time to watch movies anymore, but I need to let you borrow them to watch some of them.
I know I just need to sit down and prioritize watching them. Like, as long as I put them on my itinerary,
yeah,
then I can get them done.
Yeah, I'm hoping that at the end of Endgame, we see a character from the Fox acquisition that we won't expect to see.
Well, Wolverine. There's still talk about.
Yeah, that's a rumor still.
Yeah.
But to just like.
But this almost adds credence to that rumor. We talked about this last week.
Yeah. I think I said that even just to mention the word mutant would be awesome to see at the end of Endgame.
Yeah, for sure. So you would be up next.
Okay.
And I think that's exciting that we're finally getting all of these kind of companies to work together, either by, creating deals to where you can use these characters, or, Disney just gobbling up companies because they are a crazy, scary powerhouse. Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how whenever you see a cute animal, Remington, you want to just squeeze it till it poops?
Yeah.
That is apparently something called cute aggression.
I was actually trying to decide on whether or not I wanted to go darker than that. I've heard of cute aggression before.
Yeah. Well, Catherine Stavropoulos, a licensed clinical psychologist, and Laura Alba, a UC Riverside doctoral student, explored why people experience cute aggression urges and how they impact different parts of the brain.
Okay.
The UC Riverside team published their findings in the Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience journal on December 4th. The study showed that cute aggression affects the pleasure receptors of our brain, giving us a dose of rewards when we see cute animals or enhanced cute babies. So for this test, they showed us pictures of cute animals and then not cute animals, and then regular babies, and then babies they enhanced to have like bigger eyes and bigger foreheads to make them more cute in our eyes.
Okay.
And they I keep saying us, but the people that they tested, they hooked them up to diodes and everything to test their brain function, and saw that it was sending out pleasure. It was hitting those pleasure receptors when we saw cute stuff.
So how does that tie into being aggressively cute?
Cute aggression is where you see something and you want to just squeeze it, like, ah.
Oh, just like that excitement of it.
That excitement
Like when
is
like
physically hitting our pleasure receptors.
gotcha. Okay. So when a dog sees a toy that it wants so bad that it finally gets a hold of it and it shakes it apart, I imagine that's hitting the same pleasure centers of
Yeah.
the dog's brain. Pull the chat back up so you can see that. Thank you, Mumphrey, for the 500 biddies. That's a whole $5.
Really?
It is.
Nice.
Very much appreciated. The Schmo says that she wants to squeeze all of the cats because they are so cute.
That's called cute aggression.
It is.
And it hits your pleasure receptors.
Yep. And it also hits the poor kitty's pain centers.
Yeah.
So watch how you squeeze. Don't squeeze them until they poop.
I had a cat I ran into yesterday at my house.
Yeah, I saw that you posted that on Facebook.
It was so sad though, because it was like the most skeletal, gaunt cat I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it was just standing outside of my apartment door. I walked up the stairs because I live on the second floor. And there's this cat there just like meowing, this weird like meow, meow, like
Yeah.
this weird fucking meow at me. So I try to, do the typical thing like, come here, buddy.
Yeah.
Like one of those things.
And
And
he's
it
like,
didn't
"Fuck you."
No, it didn't run for me at all.
Oh, really?
It was like immediately doing the figure eight around my feet. So I sat down and I had got Hardee's, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
That's why I only had 2 chicken tenders, because I'd taken the rest of them and like I stripped the fried part off and was giving the cat the chicken inside.
Yeah, that's good.
And we just sat and ate, and then it crawled up on my lap and fell asleep.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty adorable.
Do you need to take that?
No.
I forgot how to phone. I was seeing all the things and was very confused.
But yeah, I didn't know what to do with the cat at all. Like, I wanted to take it in, but I can't have cats.
Yeah.
I can't have any pets in my apartment. Plus, I'm super allergic to cats and dogs. Mostly cats, but dogs a little bit too.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much that you can do, especially considering how tied your hands are.
Yeah. So what should I do in that situation? Just give it the food that I wanted? Because then I went inside. It kept trying to come inside with me.
Yeah.
It was shivering when I was petting it. Like I said, it was so skeletal almost.
Mm-hmm.
Not to bring the podcast down, I guess, but
Well, there are a lot of things you can do. The long and short of it is if you take it to the Humane Society, they'll try to home it, but he may end up just
being put down. Yeah.
If you don't mind having an outside cat, you can always build it a little shelter to put outside of the outside of your door.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your landlord would think about that because it's a stray. There's a lot of money that could be spent on it.
Mhm.
You could buy cat food. You could actually take it to one of the vets and just be like, this is a stray, and while I can't actually have it and home it, I wouldn't mind, deworming it and, treating it for fleas, or at least giving it a little bit of a
Little spa day.
little quality of life,
Yeah.
a little quality of life thing. You could even potentially pay to have it spayed or neutered, depending on what it is, just so it doesn't, make more babies that have to live in potential misery.
Yeah.
So fucking so weird.
What?
I bet there is a nice middle ground between Brandon's loose jeans and Remington's moose knuckle style. That's Mumfrey.
How does he know I have loose jeans on?
You can see them.
I forgot my moose knuckle style. I forgot my belt today,
My balls.
so my jeans are especially loose too.
Yeah. I feel like he's just looking at my balls. I'll just focus in.
Well, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah.
They're just moose knuckling.
Hey, at least I'm not wearing pants that have a hole in the crotch.
That's true. You you can at least say that.
I've grown as a person. I sew up my holes now. I need to take a pee.
Okay.
Do you need to do anything? Take a quick break?
Yeah, we can take a quick break.
We're going to take a quick break, guys. I'll switch over to the break scene, and we will be back here in about 5 minutes or so.
The sun is shining, so why binge in here when you can do it out there? With this clever little app called Audible, you can listen to the stories you love while doing the things you love outside. Everyone's doing it. She's binging, they're binging, and so is he. So put on your headphones, turn on Audible, and binge better.
I don't imagine it's a particularly hard suit to pack away. That's true. Good point. Good point. I imagine you have to be really delicate while ironing it. Of course, if you roll clothes, you can actually get fewer wrinkles in them than folding them. That's a pro travel tip. You just kind of fold along where you would usually fold, like you fold the sleeves and make a little square out or a rectangle out of it, and then use it very neatly roll them up. You can even put a dowel rod in between them so you have something solid to roll against. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's my favorite part of the song. I don't know why the webcam away is doing what it's doing. That's what it's supposed to look like. The away scene. It was showing us in general. But it didn't want it to. Hi, Tenemush. Come here. Come here. Brandon doesn't love you like I do.
I can't.
Daddy Luis. Come on. Come on. Here's my baby boy. All right, we ready?
Yep.
Let's go back into it. Oh shit, I left my mouse over there. Brandon, will you go grab my mouse?
Yep.
Schmo said something too. I have 6 of them.
It's just got 10 times better.
Now, and he makes me hold him like a baby. Okay. We ready?
Yes.
So who's up next?
You are.
I am? Okay, cool. So Brandon, you've heard of Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
Have you actually played any of it?
I was in the beta.
Were you?
So
Okay.
I played some in the beta.
What did you think of it?
I enjoyed what I played of it.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it up when it came out, though. I didn't enjoy it enough to put down $60 for it.
It seemed like a lot of people had jumped into it and they weren't super impressed by it. They tended to get bored pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um, and I can kind of see where that's happening. I just recently purchased it, but it is a lot better to play with friends.
Yeah, absolutely. It is
So,
one of those games where you need friends to really get the whole thing out of it.
well, the people who made Ark are apparently planning to release a pirate MMO.
Really?
Yes. The Atlas, or Atlas is what it's called, is a pirate MMO where players run the seas. Being created by Studio Wildcard, who were the people who made Ark Survival Evolved. It plops 40,000 players into the same fantasy world where they compete to govern territory and fire at any ships on sea. So this is from rockpaperscissorshotgun.com.
Okay.
Was written by Matt Cox, who is the staff writer over there. He says, I spoke to project director, lead programmer Jeremy Steiglitz and creative director Jesse Rapzak over Skype. We chatted about singing to stave off boredom on voyages, player politicking, ship combat as a team sports game, and a plan to save every player before they die of old age. So this is all like a full conversation, it seems like, where they talk about the game. So I'm just going to kind of hit some points, hit some beats of it.
Okay.
So one of the questions asked, so you're making a pirate MMO. Why will it be better than Sea of Thieves? So rock, paper, scissors, shotgun goes right for the throat.
Go straight for it. Yeah.
Jeremy laughs. How will it not be better than Sea of Thieves?
Shit.
Throwing shade early, right? Is the more accurate question. I'm sorry, that's not the answer. Just kidding. So first off, I wanted to say, having played Sea of Thieves, I really enjoy the mechanics that it has. Ultimately, Atlas is this huge open world MMO game, while Sea of Thieves is more of an instanced session-based action game. So that's something that I noticed while I was playing it. Like, I thought that there was going to be a little bit of storyline, but it's really just you go in, you play, and then when you log back out, everything resets.
Yeah, it's a make your own story kind of game.
Yeah, so as long as you play is as far as you will get in the game.
Mhm.
And then you shut it down and you lose whatever, except for I think you keep your pirate. Like, I
Yeah.
think you keep your pirate and maybe the gear that he has.
Yeah.
But other than that, or the
You don't
gear
keep
that
your
you've
gold and stuff?
unlocked, I don't know for sure. I've only played it once.
Okay, I think you keep your gold
And I
stuff.
didn't actually complete any missions. I was just kind of learning the game and just throwing around and bebopping,
Yeah,
as
as
it
it were.
were. Yes. You know me so well. But, I was kind of hoping for at least a little bit of storyline. I didn't know what to expect, I guess. But I did get it because I wanted to play with some of the people in the communities. So I always wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah.
Why not?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. So with Atlas, we really tried to take a global look at what the age of sail meant to humanity. Not just, hey, I got a pirate ship and there's cannons on it. We tried our best. We tried to the best of our ability, even at early access day one, to represent every aspect of that era, in a fantasy setting, of course. When I say every aspect, I mean things like fort building, creature taming and transportation, exotic resource transportation, trade, merchant ships, trade routes, territory claiming, taxation, crew hiring, mutinies, and, the full gamut of fantasy crap, too. Ghost ships and demons and stuff, treasure maps, spheres of influence, player versus player conflicts on a large scale. Our design mantra is, and we're not there yet, but it's, if you think you could do that, do it in that era, we want you to be able to. That includes executing people with a guillotine or a noose or a gibbet, which I don't know what a gibbet is.
I'm not sure what that is either.
I don't know why that randomly came to mind, but it did. So it's a pretty, they have both of them giving some pretty long answers there. But what do you think just from that first little snippet so far and some of the pictures that we're seeing? In fact, let me go ahead and switch it over for the viewers. Anybody who is listening, they can pop over to, or they can pop into the show notes there and see this. But what do you think as we kind of scroll through the pictures?
I mean, it looks beautiful. It sounds like a really exciting idea.
Yeah.
My problem is that Arc really dropped the ball for me. I know that Arc is pretty popular and a lot of people play Arc still.
Yeah, it seems like it's
But it is
regaining some
buggy. It
popularity
is
too.
buggy as shit.
Yeah,
And
I've noticed
it's
that.
still in like beta, I think.
Uh-huh.
But there's just certain stuff that they've never fixed.
Yeah. Some of this stuff, like here's a picture of them, like a first person view of fisticuffs. And I mean, that looks pretty as far as the concept goes.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
I've seen some people playing Ark and wasn't super impressed with the way that it looked.
Yeah, I mean, Arc is a fun game, don't get me wrong. I've spent a pretty decent amount of time on the Xbox One. I've uninstalled it now because the game file's fucking huge and
Yeah.
the updates for it are gigantic. But I mean, Arc is fun. Punching out a dodo bird just to feed it berries so you have a pet dodo
Yeah.
is pretty fun.
You've got skeletons and stuff as well. There are plenty of interesting things to do when you're not in combat, and when you are in combat, it really boils down to whatever the heck you want that's physically possible. So you can grapple onto the enemy ship if it's going slowly enough. You can try to swim up to it and climb on if you're really clever and sneaky. You can bail out of the water on your ship You can bail out the water on your ship by using a bucket when you start sinking. While words are hard. You can put out fires using the bucket. You can take control of any one cannon yourself, or you can be the captain and fire all the guns.
It sounds pretty ambitious.
Yeah, it does. He even talks about mutinies, which in Sea of Thieves, you can vote to mutiny.
Yeah.
Or to put somebody in your brig if they aren't, because the point is to kind of create a crew. And you can pull randoms in for it. And if they're just fucking with you, you can actually vote to put them in the brig.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're going to have a mutiny system here as well. Mutinies sound exciting. How do they work? They're pretty basic right now, actually. If the crew hasn't been paid for long enough, first they stop following your orders and they tell you with a HUD message, I need to be paid this much money, and here's how long you have to pay me before I mutiny. So that's their current concept.
Okay.
I think in real life, they probably don't telegraph their intentions so obviously, but we felt we really needed to make it clear to the player. Mutinying crew will start attacking you, and non-mutinying crew, though a lot of the time, because the way payment cycles work, multiple crew members will mutiny at the same time. You tend to see intra-crew battles. In practice, it's just pandemonium. You don't want it to happen. So they also have an aging system where the character will eventually grow old and die. Jeremy goes on to say that it's kind of almost a stub right now, you might say. There is real-time aging. You do start out at age 20 and you go up to age 100. It does affect your visuals. You go all wrinkly and your hair turns white. When you say real-time aging, RPS asks, I mean that it's happening whether you're playing or not. So even if you're not logged into your character is getting older. It's not actually going to take 100 years. I believe we have it set to take about 3 months to go through the entire aging cycle, and it's just an aesthetic change right now, but it's a very amusing one, mind you. In the future, it will affect statistical debuffs and buffs as you get older. We also want you to die if you reach 100, or we also want you to die if you reach 100. However, there will be ways to cheat death. There will be fountains of youth randomly appearing for days at a time. They're in one place and poof, they vanish and they're somewhere else. So players don't gather in one place. It'll be like, hey, where's the fountain of youth this week kind of thing. And players will have to travel all over the world. Maybe that will lead to some interesting conflicts. We may also have some creatures that guard them. So what do you think of that?
I think it all
aspect?
sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
It all sounds like something I'd be behind for sure.
Yeah. As long as it takes, as long as they fix whatever bugs, instead of like Arc, where you just have these kind of these persistent bugs.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody doing an MMO, MMOs are so ambitious creatively and logistically
Yeah.
that a studio like Studio Wildcard taking it on means that this thing's probably going to be in the works for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't think that they could just base it off of current engines that they have and then just fine tune it?
Oh, I'm sure they would, but Arc isn't an MMO. I wouldn't consider Arc an MMO.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's true.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
MMO more in like the WoW style
Yeah. Yeah.
than what Arc is, which is kind of an instance scenario. I mean, you don't have 40,000 players on an Arc server.
True.
You have however many people can be supported.
Mumfrey, thank you for the sub.
Ooh, with Twitch Prime.
Yes, that Twitch Prime sub. I loves it.
Which I still need to do since I have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I haven't subbed to our own channel yet.
You are a monster, sir.
Yeah, I am.
I can't because it's tied to Dueling Ogres.
Mhm.
So I have to give my sub somewhere else, unfortunately. If I had it tied to don't let you down. Don't let you down. We won't, man. We won't. We love you. Want to make our daddy proud. Can we call you daddy? Is that okay? Can we call Mumfrey daddy?
I mean, we can. Whether we should is an entirely different thing.
Is it okay if we call you daddy? Brandon won't. I can tell how weird it is to him.
Yeah, no.
I can tell in his eyes about the right age. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how old you are. I didn't think you were too much older. I knew you were older than us, but not that much older. Because you just had to make it weird.
He says, all my children must suckle from my breast from time to time.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Do you have any more stories or? We're at an hour 45. So.
Yeah. I'll hit one more story.
Okay.
Kobold Press, are you familiar with them?
I have heard of them, yes.
They release D&D supplements, and I think supplements for other role-playing games as well, but I know they definitely do D&D stuff.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch our scene again. Sorry, everybody watching. Go ahead.
They released a new supplement that adds over 20 new spells, new madness rules, and magic tomes inspired by the Cthulhu mythos.
And this is for what?
5e.
For 5e? Okay.
This is for warlocks specifically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Ginger might be something she's interested in next time we make a character.
Yeah, for sure.
It's called Deep Magic Mythos Magic, which is a little redundant as far as the name goes. They could have named that a little bit better, I feel like.
Yeah.
Deep Magic Mythos Magic.
It sounds like a name that was made up by a nerd and not by somebody who's in marketing.
Yeah. So what are you going to call it? No, Deep Magic Mythos Magic.
No, there's a lot of mythos and magic involved, and it's very deep, so let's call it Deep Magic Mythos Magic.
It adds over
I love how we are, not to cut you off, I love how we're pretty good nerds, but we still revert to that if we're going to make fun of nerds, that's the nerd that we make fun of.
That's straight up Conan O'Brien style.
Yeah, that was straight up too. Yeah, that was straight up Conan nerd.
It adds over 20 new void magic spells with effects and abilities pulled straight from the Cthulhu mythos. When you learn new void magic, make a saving throw or risk accumulating void taint.
Void taint?
Void taint. So whenever you learn new spells...
Like, I know what they mean.
Yeah.
But void taint.
The taint of the void. Remington, grow up. Come on.
I love the void taint. Oh, that's good.
So anytime you learn a new spell, you have to make a saving throw or you accumulate void taint.
Yeah.
And then
what happens when you get enough void taint?
Whenever a character accumulates too much void taint...
What happens when you're licking enough of the void taint?
Whenever you lick too much void taint, you either gain a form of indefinite madness...
Okay.
Or suffer from some sort of flesh warp.
Ooh.
So you get all like monstery looking.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they expound upon that or...
Not in the article I read.
I see. That's
cool. But I haven't
though.
checked out the book.
Yeah. Humphrey also said that Schwalbe Entertainment released a 5e supplement of Spells and Magic as well. Spells and Magic is one of those things that you always found extra supplements for.
Yeah,
like,
you can never get enough of.
There's only so many like weapons that you can make, it seems like.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are just a metric ton of weapons out there for role-playing games. Like, I remember when Oriental Adventures came out for 3.5, or 3.0, actually. There was all sorts of just new takes on different weapons, but like the clubs that they had were more boxy and had a bunch of studs and stuff all over them, and they had different, Asian inspired names, that sort of thing.
But they all still, there's only so much I feel like you can do with weapons, and maybe this is why I'm not a creator. Because when it comes down to it, you can design the coolest weapon in the world, but then it's just like, it does a D8 plus your strength modifier of damage.
And then whatever bullshit magic that you tie to it.
Yeah.
So magic is where the creativity comes in, I feel like.
Yeah, well, especially in 5e where you have warlocks also.
Yeah.
And you have that whole making a pact with another worldly power.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think you're going to pick up any of that stuff?
Probably not.
Yeah.
They're just, D&D books are so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
That's my problem with them. It's like, I have a hard time dropping $30 on a book.
Yeah, I understand.
Which is hypocritical of me because I'll spend $30 on a video game.
Yeah.
But $30 on like a D&D supplemental rule book, they're big. I don't have a lot of room for them in my apartment.
Yeah.
Other excuses I'm making up right now.
Sure, right. Humble Bundle had just recently had a...
I think it just ended, or if it didn't end, it's very close to ending.
Yeah, I'm looking to see right now. Python, 2x early unlock, dead class. Yeah, I think it's over now.
I did pick up the $1 bundle though.
I picked up the $15 one.
Oh, did you?
So I actually have access to
all the maps and stuff.
Yeah. I have everything. So if you need a hookup, you just let me know.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. And I stole that printer when they closed our store, so it's black and white, but I can still just it's a toner printer.
Oh, nice. So you can just print forever.
I can print forever.
Yeah, I have out of that Humble Bundle, I am going to start running a module for you guys probably here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
After we wrap up the political stuff we're doing right now, I'm just going to throw you guys into this module.
That's awesome.
I was reading it and it sounds really cool, so.
Cool. I can't wait for that. All right. I think that's going to wrap us up for this week.
Yep.
You want to work on pulling up shout outs, and I will.
I've got those already pulled up.
You're already set. All right. If you all have any questions or comments, or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call our phone number, even live. While we're live, if you see the phone number pop up and you want to chime in, you can call us at 978 DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres. Email us at duelingogres@gmail.com, or leave a comment on our Facebook page like these nice people. Brandon, go!
It would have been more effective if I'd been ready to go right when you said Brandon, go.
Yeah, it would have been, but that's fine.
Okay, so we had 2 comments this week. The first one is from the Diamond Man, Stephen Hines.
The Diamond Man.
Who commented and said, I need to get that Beastie Boys book. They had me with the Black Flag worship. Also, I may or may not have indulged in a yeet of crack while watching women's panties fall off during this episode. P.S. I didn't think Luke was whiny in Last Jedi. He was definitely bitter and jaded, though. Great point about almost killing young Kylo.
Yeah. And that plays to the fact that I'd only seen, bits and snippets. I haven't actually seen the movie. So maybe he just does come off more jaded and less whiny.
Yeah, he does. Jaded is a better word for it than whiny.
Yeah.
He's
But the
obstinate.
snippets,
I would
yeah.
use the word obstinate.
And that is something that I would see from somebody who is really young, which is why I kind of went with whiny
Yeah.
instead of obstinate, because I'm not smart and don't think of good words. But nice handover. Hand over what? Hand over fist? My name is Hand Over Fist.
Hand over to me, I think, with the...
I see. What was I talking about? Oh, the whininess of Luke. But yeah, obstinate would definitely be a better word. It just, I don't know. It feels like you would that is the kind of action that you would see from somebody who is much younger and being obstinate. But I guess, if he's starting to get old and senile and doesn't like change, like all of us old people.
He's not that old and senile. He's not like forgetting where he put his lightsaber and shit.
Well, yes, he did. He just threw it off of the fucking cliff.
Where did
come
I
on.
put my lightsaber? And then we also had our
He
other...
just pitches it. Like, I don't think I fully realized that, because at the end of what was
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, she hands him the lightsaber, and then apparently he just pitches it.
He just throws it behind him.
Yeah, like what a dick move.
Yeah, she gets it. I mean, that's the lightsaber she uses. But
yeah,
he just tosses it behind him and walks off.
Yeah. No. I don't even like it.
Yeah, it's not the Luke Skywalker that I enjoy.
I don't even like it. Drives me nuts. Okay.
Our other comment was from Viscount Terry W. Irvin II, who says, Brandon, maybe the online exchange while watching New Year's Eve events with the Wizard in the Wardrobe will evolve into a sort of tradition.
Yeah.
Sure. It's better than sitting in my underwear cuddling a dog, I feel like.
I mean, whatever, man.
Rem, thumbs up for helping the tech challenge Shriners old dudes.
Yep, not a problem.
Unexpected Star Wars D&D crossover commentary with Mace Windu's determined alignment. A smiley face.
Yeah, we got to tie D&D into it somehow.
About as much and as often as we can.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure to subscribe on our website, duelingogres.com, for news shows and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. I almost sounded potentially racist there for a second.
Yeah. You said geek.
I did. I said geek. And finally, be sure to find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, anywhere else you can find a podcast, Spotify, maybe. I still didn't find us on Pandora yet.
Okay, I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, I keep trying to look to see if we pop up, but I don't know if you have to like sign up somewhere to get on it or not.
Probably. I'll look into it though.
Okay. Or go over to iTunes if you're one of those users.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never personally, but
yeah, if you're an Apple user, go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, it helps to boost us higher on the cool kids list.
It does.
And leave an actual comment too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like the 5 stars are nice, but I also want to know that we connected with you on a personal level.
But if you don't want to leave a comment, do leave the 5-star reviews because that helps.
Yeah. But leave a comment too. I want to touch you with your words.
Yeah, Remington's
I want
very
you to touch
visceral.
me with your words. I want your words in me.
Alrighty.
This is the point where I would cut you off and go, so until next week, ogres. So until next week, ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night. And everybody in the room who is lurking and or otherwise, we will find somebody to host. Since it looks like I've got about 11 or so people in here, we'll just do the host thing. Oh, goodness gracious. Start Star Wars Episode 9 rumors. Where's Lando? He's dead. Somebody ate him. The universe is a terrible place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I'm a dumb. Brandon, I'm a dumb.
You are.
I need the keyboard.
Oh, we had another comment an hour ago.
Oh, yeah? What was it?
It was Joel Gant was replying
yeah,
to
yeah.
Stephen
I saw
Hines.
that. Yeah. I'll just I'll add it in post.
Okay.
And also, thank you, Joel, for commenting on it as well, and or commenting on Stephen Hines's post and saying that it was a really good listen. I don't know if you listened
He
to it.
said
or
it's a
if you-
great book, very in depth. He didn't say
Yeah.
if he read it or listened to it.
Okay, yeah. So, but if you want to listen to it, it's on Audible. We can put a link in the description below again
Yeah.
if we want.
Let's do
I
it.
might just do that. And that'll be our post. Okay, let's go over to Ray Slider is playing Legend of Zelda, so we're going to host Ray Slider. Let's pop on over to his stream.
One second.
Nope, he's not playing anything yet. Although I'm digging that mustache.
Yeah.
Tracker.
I love you guys, but I'm not hosting anybody with Fortnite.
Is it just Fortnite as far as the eye can see?
Pretty much.
There you go. Move that over here.
I guess it's all about the views, but there's so many other games out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of other games out there and a lot of people who are streaming those other games.
Worst. Okay, hold on.
But
Oh, I think I didn't turn on autosave. That's why.
it's just a matter. I mean, Fortnite is one of the easiest games to play because it's free, it's everywhere,
I'm gonna turn on some things.
and it's so easy to stream.
Yeah.
I think we got.
Like, you can stream from every system now,
We got.
except for maybe the Switch. I don't think you can stream from the Switch.
I don't
can you?
think so.
We got the pictograph. We got the spoils bag, the boomerang, the leaf.
Ray Slider. Yes, Ray Slider.
We got all the elemental arrows.
Thor's been playing Fortnite like crazy lately when I have her over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm pretty sure we hit.
It just doesn't strike me as a game that she'd be
Operate
into.
Island we hit.
No, she
Of course,
really
I
enjoys
don't
it.
really know your daughter all that well.
Yeah.
I know that she's a little weirdo, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, she really enjoys it. She doesn't do well at it, but
Yeah.
she likes playing it. She likes getting the balloons
Yeah,
that you
those
can
are fun.
attach and jumping around.
Yeah, and it's honestly a lot of fun to play with people too.
Mhm.
But you got to watch out because there are a lot of toxic people to play with as
Yeah.
well.
She asked me if I had GTA. She was like, "Dad, do you have GTA 5?" And I was like, "No, why?" And she was like, "Because some of my friends play GTA Online, and I wanted to play with them." And I was like,
No.
"Even if I had it, no, you're too young to play GTA Online.
Yeah.
The community is so toxic there."
Yeah, for sure. Who is?
Ooh, some State of Decay.
Yeah, I might do
Is
some
that
State
what?
of Decay. Yeah. You too, Mumfrey. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out, and chit chatting with us. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for
you.
the sub and the biddies as well. Fire Angel, you just tuned in right when I'm getting ready to bail out. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. I said Mort.
Yeah, I heard that. I
Solid.
can tell.
I love it. That was one of the other changes that I did. But we are going to host Reaper Rose right now, so absolutely, dear. I can't wait to see you next time. Tell the nice people bye, Brandon.
Bye, nice people. I'll do the pageant wave.
So much for that infestation.